Rent prices in Canada are about to skyrocket. As we near the end of April here, we've had the federal budget. There's a lot of talk about that, but not a whole lot of substance, frankly, for helping people actually get into the market. Then you had the rate hikes, which actually did impact the market big time. But what a lot of people aren't talking about yet is that when interest rates go up, there's something else that always goes up too, and that's rental prices. Now, please remember, do not shoot the messenger. I'm just sharing the data and information that I have in front of me. And I think a lot of people actually don't know this because I don't openly talk about it a lot, on this channel. But on top of running our sales business, which is where I spend most of my time, I do have a rental division on my team. And we've got 2 realtors that work with us that their full-time jobs is basically helping tenants and landlords rent out and lease properties in the city of Toronto. And collectively, we do anywhere between 65 to 80 leases a year on top of the 100 plus sales that we do. So I think I have a little bit of inside track on what's really going on here. Just before we get into that, I want to thank all of you. On my last video, I asked for a like goal of 200 and we smashed it. We're almost at 300. So I've got another challenge for you. On this video, if we can get to 250 likes, you would absolutely make my day. And I've decided I'm not even going to ask you to subscribe. I hope you do, but I'm not going to ask you. What I want to actually say is to everybody that has already subscribed and is coming back to these videos, thank you. Thank you for being here. I honestly really do appreciate it. And if you've been here watching, but you haven't commented or haven't reached out to me yet, just give me a little thumbs up emoji in the comments. I'd love to know that you're here. And finally, I do run a real estate team here in the city of Toronto. If you want to book an appointment with me, in the first link in the description, a buyer consultation, a seller consultation, or a discovery call to chat about the market. I'm going to reference Toronto a lot in this video because this is the market that I work in, but I'm seeing these trends happen all across Canada with many other real estate agents that I'm talking to. Because as interest rates are going up, and we will continue to see them go up the rest of this year, it's decreasing purchasing power. And if you're already in the market and you just decide that you don't want to jump up anymore or want to hang tight, that's okay. But where it's really impacting the people that were just on the cusp of getting into the market before the rate hikes, they didn't make a move and now they're stuck in limbo where they either go, okay, I'm going to keep trying to save up or I'm going to have to rent. And we've already started to see signs of the rental market really rebounding. Amrit and Wendy are the 2 agents on my team that do a lot of the leases for us. And I was chatting with them last week and they were saying that every place they offer on now has 2, 3, 4 offers on it. And the only tenants that are getting accepted are the ones with credit scores over 700, have great jobs, don't have a cosigner, AAA tenants. It's very competitive out there. And we can look back at 2019 when rents were at the absolute peak in Canada and specifically the city of Toronto. And a lot of people will point to the pandemic and say the pandemic is the reason why rents came down. And it's absolutely a large portion of it, but it wasn't just that. It was also the ban on short-term rentals. We had all these short-term rentals just before the pandemic in late 2019 that became 1-year rentals, and they flooded the market all at once. Rental prices went down across the city of Toronto, and then the pandemic hit. Everybody left the city, and the rental market started moving down for the first time that we've seen in a long time. And on top of that, you add on to the fact that when the pandemic first happened, a lot of landlords gave their tenants decreases in rent, and they have not brought the rents back up because of rent control. So I want to share a few articles with you today and go over it. And I'm starting to just notice now that the news outlets are actually catching on to that rent prices are going up because the Toronto Real Estate Board just put out a report. But I actually think as we move forward, you're going to start seeing a lot more stories about it. So first, let's jump into our first article here, and this is from CTV News, and it's called "The Average Cost of Rent to Rent a Condo in Toronto 2022 Revealed." Now, as we go down here, they talk about the fact that Toronto's condominium market continues to tighten after a brief slowdown in the earlier pandemic, with the average cost of a 1-bedroom now approaching the record high reached in 2019. So interesting, right? It's like the 1-bedroom condo segment was at its peak of price in 2019. It dropped off for a little while, and they're already saying that we're almost reaching that price again. So if we go a little bit further down here, it talks about the fact that the average monthly rent for a 2-bedroom unit was actually up 17% year over year to about just under $2,900 a month. If we look the average rent for a 1-bedroom unit, it was $2,475 in the first quarter of 2022, and that was also a 17.8% increase. Now, I think as we move forward, because this is comparing Q1 2022 to Q1 2021, yes, you're going to see big increases, but Q2 2022 compared to Q2 2021 is going to be way higher than 17%. Now, there's always two sides to every story. So landlords are going to love this because a lot of landlords have been stuck in rent control and they're way below what market rent is right now, thinking like, okay, well, if my tenant leaves, maybe I can now charge more rent than previously. I also want to remind everybody that when rents go up, sometimes landlords can be greedy. Surprise, surprise. So there's an obvious reason why the landlord-tenant board is very much favoring the tenant. And what always worries me sometimes is that when I see other countries' news outlets pick up on Toronto stories, I'm like, oh no, this is not going to be good. So let's take a quick look here at this story that came out. Don't be this person. So this is from Daily Mail, which is a UK website, right? And a Toronto landlord sparks outrage after trying to rent 3 individual beds in the same room for $420. And I guess they put in the fact that there was a pizza place nearby. So this was the picture that went mini viral. So don't be this person. I know rent prices are going up and maybe you think you can capitalize on the opportunity. I think at the end of the day, karma is a real thing. And whether you are a renter or a landlord, I think just being nice to each other is a really good way to go about life so you're not stressing all the time. Thank you for watching this video. I really do appreciate you being here. I'd like to know in the comments below, first of all, give me a thumbs up if you're already a subscriber and you like this content. I'd really like to see that down there. And second of all, what do you think about rental prices? Do you think this will continue? Because I think it will. I don't think they're going to slow down. I think rental prices will continue to increase this year as the overnight interest rate continues to increase also. Thank you so much for watching this video. My name is Tom Storey, and remember, home is where your story begins.